and welcome. My name's Sam and this is the Little Greenhouse Creates. Thank you for joining me today, and thank you for joining me on a coffee and cards Thursday. And now I've got my coffee. Have you got yours? You can always put me on hold while you go and grab yours. I'll wait. And then you can pop back and we can create together. Okay, so we're going to use the stamp set today that's on page 19 of the annual catalogue, and it can actually, I feel, be missed if you're flicking through the catalogue, so I just wanted to bring it to your attention. The main feature is this particular stamp with the words hugs in it, which is lovely in itself, but it's all the words down the right hand side here that I really like. It says, on your special day, birthday, sending you, to you, and kisses, wishing you well, thinking of you from all of us. So basically it's a stamp set for many occasions, and if you go for the bundle, which is $41.25 at the moment, excuse me, you get some wonderful dies that come with it. So you've got this die frame here, which I will show you later on. The word hugs, 3 flowers and 2 leaves. So an ideal stamp set to play with. Okay, so let me move on to what we're actually going to create. So this is the card we're going to create, as I said. So this is the framelit I was talking to you about earlier on. And so here I've got birthday hugs and kisses. And it's just, I think, a simple but effective card. And after our very busy fiddly card that we made yesterday, I felt something a lot easier was in order. So let me put this aside and bring in the supplies for you. So I have a strip of card here for the sentiment, and I have 2 little frames that will cut the sentiment out. Now, no matter how I've tried, I've always had to stamp the word sentiment first and then cut it out, because I tried it the other way around, and no matter how hard I tried, I just could not get it straight. So this little piece of square die here actually spells the word, my teeth back in, spells the word hugs. So I have a piece of real red which will go for that. Then I have the framelit I was telling you about with all the details on it, and I've got a piece of pear pizzazz, which is 3 and 4.5 roughly, just big enough to be able to cut this framelit out. And then I have a piece of white cardstock which measures 3 3/4 by 5.5, and this, as usual, will be the thing we will be working on the most. And then I have a piece of cardstock which measures 8 inches by 5 3/4, and we've scored it at the 4 mark. I'm just going to bring in my burn folder and we shall burnish. There we go. Right, let's put this aside and we can start with our piece of cardstock. Now, if you have a block that is big enough, you will be able to, let's get the stamp set out, you will be able to cover your stamp and place it on there and stamp away. However, on this occasion, I'm actually going to bring in my Stamparatus, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up, place my piece of cardstock directly onto the plate below, hold the corner with my metal magnetic even strip. I can then bring in the word, place it where I'm happy to have it. Okay, so I think that's probably about right. I'm then going to bring my plate over, press firmly, and it will bring it up. Okay, so that I have a bit of support, I'm going to place my box underneath so that when I bring over my stamp, I've got a firmer area rather than just pressing down. So for this, I'm going to use the Memento ink in black, and then I'm just going to come across. Now, for me, the added advantage of using the Stamparatus is that if something doesn't print out crisp enough, because this is pinned to place because of the magnet, I can actually go over it one more time. So let's press that. Also, if you, like me, have arthritic wrists, if you don't get as much pressure as you need, then you can keep pressing. As you can see, this bit here for me hasn't printed, so I will press down with my left hand. There we go, and now the problem has been removed. Okay, so I'm going to take this out. Squeak. There we go. I will just give this a quick wash down with my chamois. Now, because the stamp is so big, I've got my Stamper Mist, which I'm just going to spray it once. Using my chamois, I'm just going to wipe it all over. There we go. And you've got these little soap suds, but don't worry, they will disappear once it dries. Okay, so that's it all nice and clean. I can now pop that aside and we can begin with our hugs. Okay, so let's bring this in. So I've actually gone ahead and coloured in a bit of this. So as you can see, I've done all the green on this particular one, and I've got my blends here to just add the colour. So the first one I'm going to use is the light Calypso Coral, and I'm just going to colour in these big leaves here. I'm not going to do it particularly methodically. If it leaves a bit of white, I am not too worried. Now, if you're somebody that really enjoys spending time colouring, you can use the dark and the light, and you can just incorporate the colours and make it blend and be a lot more effective than what I'm actually achieving here. I'm just going to colour those in. So that was the light Calypso Coral. I'm then going to bring in the dark Daffodil Delight, and all of these I'm going to use the thin end of the brush rather than the lighter end, sorry, the thicker end, and I'm just going to cover over. So that one I like. Now you can move this around as you want to. I'm going to colour this one in. There we go, and that one as well. Perfect. Bring it round, and I'll probably do these three as well in this colour. So that's that one. Lovely. There we go. So that's the yellow one there. Actually, there's one there. Let's add that one as well. Perfect. Then I'm going to bring in, let me think. I'm going to bring in the light Poppy Parade, and I'm going to colour in these dots, flowers here. There we go. So as I say, it's quite a simple card, but effective, and you can take as little time or as much time as you should wish. There we go. Oh, almost forgot those three. And there's one there that I haven't coloured in, and I'm going to give that, what have we got here? Light Polished Pink. So actually no, I'm going to, come on. Let's do this one. Light Freesia, Fresh Freesia. Now if you want the card to be very simple, you could simply just colour in the word hugs, attach that to your base card, and you would simply have completed a beautiful card. But we are going to take this framelit, pop it on our Pear Pizzazz. We're going to run it through the die cutting machine. Now, because of the intricate details on this, I would suggest that you run it a couple of times through the die machine, just so that it gets impression quite thick through, and then the pieces will fall through nicely. So as you can see, I've done one here earlier, and then it will fit just over there like this. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but it doesn't actually cover all the flowers exactly, so don't panic, it's not meant to. Okay, so you just fiddle it as around as comfortably as you can, and what you're happy with. Now I'm going to use my liquid glue, and I'm just going to glue the actual word hugs. I'm going to tap that. Okay, so run that down there, strew across, all the way round, then on the G, and then on the S. There we go. Perfect. Pick that up, and then we can wriggle that around our card. Whoops. So, as long as it covers the letters that you've used below, then you're roughly in the right position. Okay, so you can see it sits nicely on that one, but on that one and that one it doesn't, nor that one, but it does on that one. So it's not meant to. Okay, so don't panic. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to run the word hugs on my Real Red, and I'm going to run that through my die machine, and then we will come out with 4 letters that are loose. Okay, so then you can stick them down. Now the reason for this is they don't fit exactly over the actual letters. You get like an outline. You can see there, you've got the outline. So the word hugs is smaller than the middle of the frame. Okay, so once again I'm going to use the liquid glue and I'm just going to put a few dabs. Don't want it to too much glue so it seeps through. Okay, she says, putting that bit there. Let me just tell you what we'll do that. There we go, that's better. And then I'm just going to turn that over, and I'm going to attach that to the H here. And just put that in place. If you need to give it a wriggle, I've got a pointy tool, excuse my reach, and I will just use my pointy tool like that and keep it in place. Okay, so now for the other 3 letters. Taking the hugs, just going to do a few dots again on here. Being a little heavy-handed today, I don't mean to be. So again, into place, and then you can just wriggle it round there, like so. You can see it's oozing here a bit, but it will dry clear and then I can rub it off, so I'm not too worried. Okay, so now for the G. Again, trying to be a little less heavy-handed. You can, if you wanted to, use, oh, I don't know, dimensionals. We have padded dimensionals that you cut to size and then cut out your letters, and that would actually give it quite a bit of height. Or you could use clear sheets of glue, then cut the word out, and then the backing would all be stuck down. But for this occasion I'm just going to use my liquid glue and hope for the best. Now the only thing I need to tell you about the S is it only fits one way, or I have found it only fits one way. So just, there we go, that's the way. Just before you put the glue down, just make sure you're happy with the way it's going to stick. So I know that that is the top and that is the bottom. So again, tiny bits of glue, come on. Okay, into place. And then I'm going to turn that S over, and it can sit into place, and I can use the pointy tool to just shim it along. There we go. So that is the hugs in place. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to attach it to my card base, and I'm just going to lay it down flat like that. Whoops, I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal for it. I shall turn this over, and then I'm just going to run the Stampin' Seal down the 4 sides. There we go. Oh no, that's better. 1, 2, 3, and 1 makes 4. Whoops. Okay. And then that can be put into place. Like so. So I'm happy with that. There you go. So the only things we need to do now are the sentiment. So as I say, print out your words first and then cut out with the frames. So I'm using the Evening Evergreen. I'm going to put Wishing You Well. Now that's going to fit the larger of the 2 framelets. Get off. And then I'm going to use And Kisses down here, and that will use the smaller framelit of the 2. Because I've got glue on my hands, it is sticking. Okay, let's put those aside. They will be run through the die cutting machine, and then I will come out with my 2 sentiments there. For this I'm going to use the dimensionals to raise it. So I'm going to use my scissors and the smaller section of the dimensionals. So on my Wishing You Well, I'm going to put 1 on each end. I'm going to make sure it's as close to the edge as possible, but not peeking through. Do the same on this end. Okay, and then that will sit, come on you, nicely there. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same. I haven't stuck that down yet. I'm going to do the same with the kisses, and I want to do it 1 on each end as well. Now the reason for this is because this is quite bobbly. You need it to lay quite flat. So normally I would just put 1 in the middle and it would work. But on this occasion, because it is so bobbly, I'm going to put 1 at each end. So I'm going to take another one of those, and then I'm going to cut that in half. Okay, so first half is going to go down here. Again, right to the edge as possible. And then as close as possible to this edge. And then we can take off our backings. 1 and 1 makes 2. And then I can pop that. So that can sit here. So you've got, lift that up carefully. There we are. So there's your kisses on the bottom. And then the Wishing You Well on the top. So Wishing You Well, hugs and kisses. There we go. Now, if you wish to, and on this occasion I'm going to, we are going to add a few gems, and I think I'm going to use these ones. Take those out, and I'm going to use the green just to keep in with the green that I've already got on here. So I'm going to put 1 up there. I'm using the bigger ones. Let's put 1 over here, and maybe 1 down here, I think. Again. So a lot quicker than the card that we created yesterday, but yet again I still think quite effective. So that's the one we've just done, and this is the one I showed you earlier. So as you can see, they actually stand out quite well. And they look to me quite impressive. So I hope you liked those. They're great fun to create. I am back tomorrow with a Funky Fold Friday. Again, it will be a pre-recorded video, so do join when you can. Please leave comments. I will come back to you and respond to you as soon as possible, whether you're on Facebook or the YouTube. Thank you ever so much for joining me today and staying with me, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care. Bye.